Alright, welcome to this Seth Rollins themed Q&A here at the Wrestling Unlimited YouTube channel and Facebook group page. If you're wondering why I'm talking like this, it is currently 1:30 in the morning and everybody in my house is sleeping and I totally forgot to record and I'm trying to do it quietly so nobody wakes up and yada yada yada. Now that you know everything about my personal life, it's time for Q&A number 4, all about Seth Rollins. And if you want questions answered in a future Q&A video, then go to the Facebook group page and post your questions as comments, to the status that I post that asks for your questions. Or you can post them as comments to this YouTube video on the YouTube channel. So without any further ado, this Q&A is all about Seth Rollins. The next Q&A will be all about Roman Reigns. Yippee. So if you have any Roman Reigns questions, post them on Facebook, send them to me in a message, post them as a comment, I don't care. Let's get started with this Rollins Q&A. Walter Main, if Seth beats Brock at Battleground, how will that affect the way you view his title reign? It won't. It most likely won't, because I pretty much know how Seth is going to win this match. There's going to be loads of interference. There's going to be constant cheating. He's going to play the cowardly chicken shit heel like he always plays. And it's not going to at all affect the way I view his title reign. It's just going to make me even more disappointed than I already am. How much would you have to be paid to dye your hair like Seth Rollins? I actually wouldn't mind getting the hair like Seth Rollins. I don't know why people hate the hair that much. So he has two colors. Nicki Minaj has pink hair. I mean, I've seen worse hair before, okay? Where do you see Seth going after the Authority is done? That's a great question. I mean, you just turned him heel a year ago to send him off on his own, break him up from the Shield, and then you have him join a faction again, a heel faction in the Authority. So what the hell do you do afterwards? Do you have him turn babyface and go back to another faction? Reunion of the Shield, maybe? You never know. I don't know. I'm just not sold on Seth as a singles guy without a faction behind him. I'm just not. What would you change Rollins' finisher to, since he probably can't keep using the pedigree? Anything but the pedigree. Plain and simple. It was stupid that they banned the curb stomp. I get why they did it, but it has had no effects on anyone. Like, when have you ever seen, real life injury because of curb stomp? It hasn't happened. So why ban it? It's one of the most over finishers in WWE today, and you ban it. What move can I see him doing? Maybe that flip DDT that he used to do. If that's his finisher, then that's stupid. But I kind of see that that's where they're going. I know he can't keep using the pedigree forever, but hey, it's the best that he has, I guess. How much would people lose their minds if at SummerSlam Triple H pins Rollins and becomes WWE Champion? There might be a crash of the internet. There will be a lot of statuses and tweets saying that Rollins was buried. There would be a petition to bring Rollins the title back. There might be, like I said, there might be an internet crash. The world will lose it. So do not float that possibility, Walter. Do not mention that. Do not say that. Because it's not going to happen. Because if it does, World War III might ensue. World War III might just happen. You never know. Tyler Harper, would you be upset if this current storyline turned Rollins face? In a way, no. It gets him away from being the cowardly chicken shit heel that WWE loves to have people portray. gives us something fresh to Seth and his character. But are you really sold on Seth Rollins running on his own without someone behind him? I'm really not. And I haven't been since they broke up the Shield. When they broke up the Shield, I saw Ambrose becoming a successful singles guy, and look where that's wound up. And I thought that Reigns was going to be moderately successful as a singles guy, and again, look where that wound up. So I'm just not sold on Rollins right now. It's just my opinion. Jamie Ortega, do you think Seth will actually beat the mayor of Suplex City? Yes. Clean? No. Will he beat him? Probably. In some bizarre way. Or hell, maybe they can screw Rollins and have Brock be the next Authority guy. Maybe the Authority could screw both of them and then have Sheamus cash in on the winner. You never know. That's another problem. What the hell are you going to do with Sheamus now that he's the Money in the Bank winner? Are you really going to have a Sheamus versus Lesnar feud with the way Sheamus has been built up lately? No. You won't. Trust me. If Seth wins, who will his next opponent be? Triple H or Kevin Owens? A no to the latter. I don't see Kevin Owens as a fit for Rollins at all. Triple H is a possibility. Kind of have to see how this storyline progresses over the next couple of weeks in order for that to actually happen. But that's a great question. I mean, who the hell does he go after now? He's pretty much faced everyone that there is. He's faced Roman, he's faced Ambrose, he's faced Cena, he's faced Orton, he's facing Lesnar. I mean, who's left after Brock Lesnar? It's a great question. I can't answer it because I have no fucking idea. Matt Minnick, why can't he use a different move other than the pedigree? It looks weak when he does it. Because WWE is stupid. That's why. They should have never gotten rid of the curb stomp. They should have never given him the pedigree to begin with. I love the irony that his character is, oh, I don't take from anyone, or I don't need anyone's help to win, but he takes Triple H's finisher. Yep, that makes sense. Apparently, to some idiots in the WWE, that makes sense. Christopher Rubio, what are the chances of Rollins retaining the championship? Very high. Especially with the way they're probably going to book him at Battleground. Chances of him retaining the championship, are very high. If he doesn't retain, will he turn babyface to wrestle Triple H at SummerSlam? Probably. I don't think that I would want to see them go there, but I think that is where they're kind of aiming to go. Like I said, do I want to see it? Not really. Because you really haven't developed Rollins as a full-fledged top heel of the company. So would you really want to turn him babyface this quickly? That's another thing. I mean, yeah, you turn Rollins heel, but it became all about the Authority. So you really didn't establish Rollins as a full-fledged top heel in the WWE. And it's sad to say that, unfortunately, he is the top heel right now. But that's not saying much because he hasn't been developed to be that top heel. But he's the top heel by default because no one else is in that spot. I think that's ridiculous. You said if he doesn't retain, will he turn babyface? I hope not. That is where they're going to go. And I don't really get how that's going to work. Got to see how that's going to work, I guess. We'll just see at SummerSlam, I guess. Tyler Balmore, what's your honest thoughts about him inside and out of WWE? Inside, I think that he's got the good ring skills. He's got some good mic work. It's alright mic work. It's not that great. I think that unlike Roman Reigns, he kind of has a character, but just like Roman Reigns, his character hasn't really developed as much as it should be developing. Same goes with Ambrose. I mean, you have Ambrose called the Lunatic Fringe, and you do nothing with that. All of his matches lately have seemed stale. All of his matches lately have lacked purpose. And yes, that includes the WWE World Heavyweight Championship matches against Seth Rollins. It's just my opinion. Inside the ring, he's alright, I guess. Outside the ring, I haven't really heard much complaints except the nude pictures from last year. And I'm not really going to get into that because I thought that was stupid. You know, it's just one thing. It's just stupid. It's just ridiculous. Alex Kostoval was changing his finisher to the pedigree the right move. No. Not even close. I don't think it was. I think that the curb stomp worked fine. The curb stomp is how he won the title. The curb stomp is what was over with the crowd. So of course you get rid of it. Because that makes sense. Just like the night after WrestleMania, you know, you have Brock, who's already become the full-fledged top babyface of the WWE, and you fucking suspend him. But kayfabe, of course. But you take him off television for 3 months. Really? That doesn't make sense. You got something working here that the crowd is finally all fully behind, and you get rid of him. I don't like that. It's just my opinion. Also, was the complete and utter destruction of the curb stop actually necessary? I just said that. No. You know, it's good that the WWE is thinking about the safety of the performers, but if there's no evidence to prove that that move actually did anything to anybody, then why the hell ban it? The crowd liked it. People were behind it. Again, it won him the title. So, of course, you get rid of it. It's stupid. Matt Britton. Will Seth Rollins be better off without the authority? Honestly, no. Again, I'm not sold on him as a babyface without somebody behind him. I'm not really sold on him as a heel without somebody behind him. Sorry, that's just me. Deshaun Tasker. Will he and Brock Lesnar steal the show at Battleground? If it becomes like his feud with Ambrose becomes with all the interference, then no. It does have that potential. I just don't see it as a probability. It's possible. I don't think it's probable. And it's definitely not set in stone. And Brian Colinari finishes the Q&A with 2 questions. What's next for Seth after his feud with Lesnar? I said that earlier. I mean, honestly, I don't know. You've already had him face the face of the company for 10 years, Cena. You've had him face Reigns. You've had him face Ambrose. You've had him face Randy Orton. You've had him face... Now you're having him face Lesnar, who held the title since SummerSlam until WrestleMania, broke the streak last year, has kind of come across as the most dominant guy that they have right now. So where the hell does Seth go after this? I honestly don't know. And do you see a future feud with Seth as a face and Dean as the heel? I could see why that can work. It's a change. I think that Dean personally would work better as a heel. Again, I'm not sold on Rollins as a face. The only problem with that is, if it's, let's say you want to do this feud with Seth as a face and Dean as a heel. If you want to do this feud like next year, that would be 3 straight years of the same feud. And that would start to become a little Orton Cena-esque, if you get what I'm saying. It gets kind of repetitive, it gets stale. Even though the characters are a little bit different, it still becomes repetitive. We've seen it before. We know what these guys can do. We've seen it. It's old already. After twice, you take a break and go back to it way down the road. Not next year, maybe 2 years from now. You don't rush back into it. And if you rush back into it, that just shows you that the WWE has no idea what they're doing, and they're just putting these guys randomly against each other again. That's just my opinion. Like I said, next Q&A is all about Roman Reigns. That'll come this Friday. Send your questions via Twitter, via Facebook, via YouTube. I don't care. I'm going to bed. Good night.